Aloha mai kako, Keola Mau Tengan here with day 15 of Resolve to Evolve. How's everything going so far? We are 2 weeks plus into the whole experience and thus far has accomplished a lot. If you've made it this far, then congratulations, because that is nothing short of extraordinary. In fact, you are nothing short of extraordinary. The process that we're going through really looks at our own personal transformation, our awakening. And for a lot of people, it's difficult to go through this. It's a little scary. And that's okay, because what we're really looking at is overriding the patterns of the past, which has, up until this moment now, has overwritten a lot of the true, authentic aspects of who we are. And so as we really start to almost break the addiction that is us, all of a sudden things begin to change. Everything begins to change. And as such, we want to take a moment to pause, because we've been a little more active with our exercises recently. And we're going to do something super simple today. Today is all about reinforcement. Now, to just recap what we've done so far, we went into our list, which I had a heck of a time finding last time. Right, we went into the list of our roles. We identified what those roles that we occupy in life now are. We identified which of those are more has a higher energetic cost and which we want to focus upon. And as we did that, then we're able to also identify the levels of relationship, right? Intrapersonal, my relationship with myself. Interpersonal, my relationship with those around me. Looking at my professional relationships, those I'm in service to, and my community level relationships, those I'm service with. Now, we've identified that, and we are going to get into something a little bit more heady tomorrow. However, today we're all about reinforcement. We're going to pause, because already, having stuck with this for 2 weeks, you've already initiated the mechanics of change and transformation, and in doing so are more likely than not beginning to see things happen, right? For myself, for example, presence. Right? So I'm really focusing upon the context of presence. And in doing so, I've noticed that just naturally I'm using the word presence more and more in conversation. And I'm being more attentive, more connected, more immersive with each and every moment. Same with intimacy, expression, and affluence. I'm seeing these things just beginning to happen. And as they begin to happen, we want to take a moment to reinforce exactly that. Now, one thing that I really like to do is when I see something, whether it be perhaps something on my list of be, do's, and haves, right? For example, an I have statement is having a 4x4 vehicle that I can explore and adventure with. Now, the intention, the energy, the emotion behind that is the capacity, is that liberty to go out into areas that may otherwise be more prohibitive in terms of access, right? Rock roads, dirt, so on and so forth, that if I were to take a regular car, which I have, then I might get stuck. And so that liberty, which really is a powerful word for me, comes in the capacity and the vehicle of the 4x4 truck. And in this case, when I see it, one of the things that I'm looking at is a Jeep Gladiator. Totally thought that looked weird initially. However, it's grown on me. Its functionality, though, is great. You know, being able to have that off-road capacity and still be able to have that bed space. I often go foraging, so that's something that really makes sense and is important for me. And so when we see them, myself and the boys included, I reinforce it. I acknowledge it, that I helped to co-create this moment, and that this moment is coming back to reinforce my co-creation. And so when I see something right on the breastbone, between the heart center and the throat, just beneath the collarbone, is this area that I tap. It's actually chakra number 8, and it's called the Azare. It's right on the thymus. And so what I'll do is when I see it, whether it's a Jeep vehicle or something that reinforces one of my words of triumph or what have you, something that's relevant and resonant to my statements, then I'll reinforce 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now that's my part on it. I would say if you can do something in that tapping motion is great, because generally we have to think about it and then pause and then acknowledge it. Additionally, we can do other things that may just help to anchor, right? That whole concept of embodiment. And that's what we're really looking for. We are intending to hold the version of our vision within our very cells so that we saturate our bodies with our self. And so when we see these things happen, it's incredibly important just to acknowledge it quietly, however is, most resonant with you. For myself, though, I tap chakra number 8 and I go for that round 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I do that 3 times. And that 3 times really for me is something that helps to reinforce the magic. So as you go out, and whether it's a matter of another thing that I'll do, for example, with affluence, is I interchange it with abundance. And so when I'm in an abundant moment, of which there are many, time with the boys, walking out on the property, eating delicious food, spending time with a quality person and friend, meditating, whatever it is that is just perfect in that moment, is something that I'll also acknowledge. And I'll quietly within inside of myself either say abundance or affluence. And quietly within inside of myself, I'll share like a little statement of gratitude. And it could be something as simple as thank you. And yet at the same time, it's much more profound than just a thank you. And so as we go through this, a simple reinforcement and acknowledgement in when we have these moments and observe the fulfillment and the materialization of our desired manifestations and aspirations. So take time. You're going to start to see it if you haven't already. And more likely than not, it's already there and present. And so as you really just take time to be attentive to it, you're going to find that it'll just continue to unfold more and more and more until it is directly a part of your very life. That's it for now, though. Love and aloha. Take care, and ahui ho.